Hello everyone, my name is Akshay. Welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how I built the turtle tank automation project. And if you're planning to build similar project, this video will be very helpful. Now coming to the inspiration why I built this project. Now if you're a turtle owner, you would be knowing that no doubt turtles are very cute, very adorable, but they create a lot of mess. And the place where you have kept these turtles, for example, you might have kept it in an aquarium or a tub. This gets the water gets murkier very fast, and if there is no proper filtration provided to the aquarium or the tub, the water starts stinking a lot. To begin with, there are 4 different mechanisms which are involved in this project. The first one is the filling mechanism, second is the draining, the third is the fragrance diffuser, and the fourth one is the heat lamp. In this video, I will be showing you each and every step and whichever components which I have used in building these mechanisms. I will be covering everything in detail. The power supply which I've used in this project is AC 240 volts. I've used two analog to digital converters to convert the voltage, the AC voltage, into one is 12 volt DC and the other one is 5 volt DC. The 12 volt DC have been used for pumps and solenoid valves. I'll be showing you how it works and where exactly these devices, these gadgets have been used in the complete project. The 5 volt DC is nothing but to actually power the microcontroller, since the microcontroller operates in 5 volt DC, 5 volt 2 amp around. In the filling mechanism, the inlet of the water is from the same pipe which comes from the washing machine. So the water which goes to the washing machine, I have used a T-joint over there, and from there I have attached a tap through which I would be able to control the flow of water as well. And from the tap it directly goes to the solenoid valve. Now how does the solenoid valve actually works? Now the solenoid valve is similar to an electric switch in an electric circuit. So the work of an electric switch in an electric circuit is to allow the flow of electricity in the circuit. In a similar way, solenoid valve is used to control the flow of water in the in this project. So the solenoid valve actually controls the flow of water. So it is either on or off. So there are two states in which you get these valves. One is normally open and one is normally closed. That means over here I've used the normally closed one. So when I apply power, that is when I apply 12 volt DC onto the solenoid valve, it switches on and it actually allows the flow of water. That's how it works. Coming to the draining mechanism, over here I have made a use of a solenoid valve itself, but as you can see in the diagram, I have directly connected the valve to the tub. So this is a normally closed valve as well. So what happens is when I apply 12 volt DC to this, the valve opens and the water from the tub flows to the drain. Now one problem while I was building this which occurred to me was the flow of water when the solenoid valve is on is not that much. So what happens is, even if the valve is open, the flow of water is very less. So in order to accelerate this, what I made use of is a pump. So even the pump which I have used over here is a 12 volt DC pump. So what happens, so the connections which I made over here is the water from the tub is connected to the solenoid valve, and from the solenoid valve I have connected the connection of the pump. So when I switch on the complete draining mechanism, both the solenoid valve and the pump switches on. Both of them are powered using 12 volt DC. So once I switch on the draining mechanism, both of them are switched off and the draining starts. Because of the pump, the speed of the draining mechanism is accelerated. As you can see in the diagram, you will also see one more additional pipe just besides the draining mechanism, and that is nothing but to protect the tub from overflowing. So sometimes what happens, if at all I have added this functionality, I've added this pipe intentionally, because if at all something happens to the circuit and the water supply is continuous. So in order to prevent the tub from overflowing, I've added this pipe. So as you can see, this pipe is directly connected to the drain itself. So once the water reaches that level, the water will pass through the drain. That's how it works. Now the next mechanism, third in the list, is the fragrance diffuser. So fragrance diffuser plays a very major role. While actually building this project, I actually kept this at the lowest priority. Reason being, I didn't feel that this would be useful, this will be that necessary, but turns out this was very very much important in the complete project. As I said, in the introduction, that no doubt these turtles, they are when they are small, they do not create that much of dirt, but as they grow, the amount of dirt which they create is a lot. And if you wake up the next morning and you go near the tank, that time it stinks a lot. So in order to avoid this stinking thing, we have made use of the fragrance diffuser. The fragrance diffuser is powered using 240 volt AC. That's how it is powered, and it can be controlled through relays as well. Last mechanism is the heat lamp. So whenever you have a reptile at home, the most important thing for a reptile is sunlight. Since these creatures, you are keeping it as pet at home, the amount of heat they receive from sunlight is very less, and that's the reason you need to make use of UVB lamps, and that's why heat lamp comes into picture. So similar to fragrance diffuser, heat lamp also consumes 240 volts AC, which can be controlled through relay. One thing to keep in mind is all the four mechanisms are controlled through relay itself. I'll tell you the reason why. We can directly control these mechanisms through a switch. The reason why I used relay is because I should be able to control the mechanism through a microcontroller. That's where relays come into play. The turtle tank automation projects actually works in two modes. One is the automatic mode and one is the manual mode. So if you see the switches on the side of the box, the PVC box, you will find 4 switches for 4 different mechanisms apart from the main switch which you see above that. So this is actually a 3-way switch. There are actually 3 states to the node which you see. One is the straight, one is you can make it above, and the one you can make below. What happens is when it is in the straight state, it is off. When you switch it above, it is in automatic state, and when you switch it below, it is the manual state. So if you want to control each and every mechanism separately, you can use manual state and control the complete project. That is fine, but where the magic comes is when you operate the project in automatic state, and that's the reason I made use of microcontrollers. The microcontroller which I've used over here is Arduino Uno. Now I had many options when it comes to using the microcontroller. I could have made use of Raspberry Pi and there are other development boards as well. In Arduino itself, I could have used a mini version since there are only 4 switches which I had to operate. But while I was building this project, I had Uno in hand and I thought that let's go ahead with this. I have built many projects when it comes to Arduino Uno and I trust its reliability. However, there are many different advantages if I would have used Raspberry Pi. One of the advantages would be I would have been able to control it remotely through my mobile phone. Now that is also possible with Arduino, but probably I would have to add another circuitry to the Arduino itself. So coming back to the Arduino, that's the microcontroller which I've used over here. It operates in 5 volt DC itself, and that's the reason I have used the AC to DC converter of 5 volts. The program which I've written over here in the microcontroller works in this way. Step 1, switch on all the 4 mechanisms. filling, draining, heat lamp, and the fragrance diffuser. When the heat lamp is on, the turtle actually crawls on the platform and sits over there. The fragrance diffuser actually masks the stinging smell of the tank. During the same time, filling and draining is happening. Now, it took almost 2 weeks for me to fine tune the time which is required for the filling and the draining mechanism to happen completely. Now, if you have a bigger tank, it would take much more time than what it takes for me. For me, it takes around 20 to 30 minutes, for the complete tank to be, cleaned. Now, if you're not happy how much it has been cleaned, you can repeat this process probably twice or thrice to make sure that the tank is completely clean. You can repeat this process thrice or 4 times in a day to make sure that throughout the day the tank is clean. Now, an interesting question. Do I need to actually switch on this manually so that all the processes happen, or is there a better way? There is a good news. There is a circuit which I have added to this complete project, and that is the RTC circuit, also known as real-time clock circuit. So this is the diagram which I've used. This is the RTC circuit which I've used in this project. And the main advantage, the only work which this circuit does is it adds the feature of scheduling. So whichever program I have written, the steps which I have told you, it will be executing by itself at the time which I have mentioned. For example, while I wake up or before I wake up, like 1 hour before I wake up, I want the tank to be cleaned. So I'll keep 5 o'clock as the first cycle, and probably in the evening 6 o'clock the other cycle, and before I go to the bed the third cycle. So in this way I can set the program to perform these tasks at the particular time, and the microcontroller board will take care of it by itself. So basically you do not have to do anything. You just have to switch on the circuit and keep it on all day. The program will be running in the background and the tank will be clean all the time without any of your interruption. I had built this project more than a year back, and since then it has been working smoothly at my home without any issues. So if you are looking forward to build some similar projects, do let me know if you face any issues while building it. You have my contact details, I will also mention on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. So that's it for now, and before I end, these are some of the few cute clips of my turtles. Enjoy.